Good evening, guys. Good evening. And I am so glad that you are here with me tonight. It is hot and it is sunny and it is in the evening. So, you know what? It is what it's going to be. But I wanted to reach out and I wanted to talk to you because God put something on my mind tonight. I was sitting and I was praying about things that's going on in our world. It's almost like the world is unhinged. And I was just talking and sitting before the Lord. And you know what the Lord told me to tell you? That they are already here. I'm like, who is already here? And the Lord revealed to me that demons, they're already here. And they are at work in high places. I want you to listen to this. God led me over to Luke to read about the demon-possessed boy when Jesus and a couple of them had gotten there at this town across from Galilee. And when they entered into this town, they were confronted with this man that had these demons. And he was very aggressive. He was asking, man of God, what do you want with me? What are you doing here? The man was so out of order that he was shackled up and he was chained up. And when he saw Jesus, he specifically said to Jesus, I guess Jesus must have asked, who are you? And he said, I am Legion. This man was talking, and these were demons inside of this man. They pleaded with Jesus, please don't send us back to the abyss. He casted them out. They ran into pigs and drowned themselves so they could be what? Free again to enter into people. And I know it's a lot of things going on in our world. It's easy for us to focus on good things for some of us, but we cannot ignore the things that are going on in front of us. I want you to understand that Satan is nervous. And he knows that he is running out of time. He knows that the sons and daughters of the Most High have been spiritually activated. He knows that there are also angels that are occupying bodies that's roaming this earth. And I want you to understand that what the Lord revealed to me is that Satan's army has already been activated in some very high places. You think that some of the things that's going on when it comes to the war on our children, do you think that some of the things that's going on when it comes to peace in this earth, do you honestly think that some of the things that is going on with this heavy oppressive spirit in nature trying to destroy humanity, who do you think that is? See, it looks like a human, just like that man looked like a human too. And when he saw Jesus, he immediately started being confrontational, kind of aggressive. And Jesus asked him, well, who are you? He said, I am Legion. Do you know what a legion is? It's a whole lot of spirits. And I want you to understand this, that you may think that that one person that's in this high ranking position, that it's maybe one demon, but what the Lord has really revealed to me is that it is legions of demons that's occupying vessels in flesh in high places in our world, in our country. And what you have to understand is that it is in our faces, people of the Most High, people of God. It is in our faces. You may be wondering, well, how can I identify a demon? How can I identify a warlock? How can I identify people that mess around in divination? How can I identify people? It's right in your face. How can you identify them? It opposes the word of God. They disrespect the order of the Most High. They come up against right things to do wrong things. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. And I want you to understand that God says to get in position because they are already here. Do you hear me talking to you tonight? Listen to me. I have never been more serious ever. Stick with God. Cry out to him. It's almost like we are in the book of Exodus and Revelations at the same time. See, oppressive demons in nature work through high levels in the earth to put pressure, to put strain, to really disrupt humanity. See, demons don't like peace. They don't like unity. They do not like truth. They do not like the law and the word of the Most High God. They do not like for us to come together, one nation or nations, under the direction of our Creator. I want you to understand that they want us to be at each other's throat. Because I'm a brown woman, because you're a white woman, because you're Hispanic, because you're Asian, because you're whatever. That demonic entities, those legions that are working through very powerful people, want you to war against one another. And what I heard the Lord say is that it's the time to do the opposite of what is expected. Because if you expect for God to show up and for him to move in our favor, you have to understand that you have to be within his will, within his law, and within his whole frequency. You have to understand this today. The reason the children of Israel were able to get miracles through Moses is because they cried out before the Lord. The Lord saw the just crazy conditions, unbearable conditions that those Israelites was in. He saw them heavily oppressed in nature. He saw them being in a very oppressive state. He saw them in the midst of a drought. He saw them in the midst of nothing. And God revealed to me that he's going to start releasing plagues into this environment. See, we were able to experience one back in 2020. And the only way that will go past you and not tear your whole situation up is you have to decide whose side you gonna be on. God wanted me to tell you it's no more compromising your flesh for what's best. It's your time to compromise. No, not at all. No more. Compromising is gone. No more compromising for fleshly things. It is a spiritual war going on, and demons are already here. Do you think it's going to be some type of a horror movie? Like Return of the Living Dead or something? Do you honestly think that the devil is that basic? Do you honestly think that things have changed from the way that they were in the times of old, in ancient times? Do you honestly think that the way that demons decide to manifest themselves and show themselves, do you honestly think that it has changed? Do you honestly think that demonic entities, they're in low places, but they're mainly operating in very powerful positions and places? Do you honestly think that God has anything to do with something that opposes his will for the earth? His way, his word. Do you honestly think that's God? Pay attention. Listen to me. They're here already. They're already here. And they're very, very deceptive, manipulative, influential. They know exactly what to say for you to believe in them. And the only way you're going to be able to really identify who Satan's children are is to really know God and allow him to penetrate your entire being, to pull back the layers of your eyes so that you can see. Because there's some that hear, but they still can't hear. There's some that see that still will not see. Listen to what the Lord is trying to say to you tonight. Just like there are angels here in bodies that are working vigorously and aggressively for the Most High, I want you to understand that it is a war going on the souls of humanity. And I want you to know that they're already here. Legions. I'm talking about occupying one person. They're already here. 4 or more demons in one particular person. They're already here. Don't you know that some people are captive by demons inside of their body, that you don't even see the real person anymore, because that demon has occupied that person for so long that they have taken over that person's whole being, and they're operating and they're doing things to hurt us? Listen to me tonight. They're already here. They are already here. I'm going to say it one more time. I just want to get you to get it. They are already here. You identify them by their works. You identify them by their agendas. You identify them by the Spirit of the Most High revealing them to you, but they're in plain sight. They're in plain sight. I want you to know something. It may not be popular to live for God. It may not be popular to honor his words. It may not be popular to live in accordance with his will for man and women in this earth. It may not be popular to love your neighbor. It may not be popular to love your enemy so that God can show them who he is through you, so that they can be joined back to him too. It may not be popular to unite with somebody that's a different hue than you. It may not be popular to stand together, but God is saying stand together. He's saying cry out to him. He's saying fast more, pray more, read your word more, affirm his word more, talk to him more, cry out to him more, because the more he hears us in unison on one accord, the more he will move in our favor. God says, I want to move in the earth. I'm telling you that God is getting ready to show himself to everybody. Because I want to tell you something. I was talking to my daddy tonight, and he said to me that he don't understand why people can't see where the devil is at, his children. He also said to me, if they only saw that picture that I saw with the face of God and the face of an eagle, they would change their mind. I told Daddy, God told me, look at that picture again. I got that picture out. I saw the face of God, the face of a man, the face of an eagle, and the face of a lion. I want you to understand that you don't want to really mess with that. Because what I saw and what God revealed to me, it's a force, and he can take on any form he wants to. I say this all the time, and I think sometimes it really don't land right, and it goes over people's head. But it's just unbelievable what I saw. What my children saw, what my father saw, we just can't. It's just, I can't. And I want you to understand that you do not want to mess with that, because God ain't playing. People think God gonna be coming down here kumbaya and happy. God is angry. And I want you to understand, you got to get on the Lord's side and stay there. And stay there. And I want you to know this, that God told me I have already started separating people. Because I want you to know they're here already. Demons? Demons? They have a war against our children. They have a war against the word and the will of God for this whole world. They have a war against you. They have a war against humanity. And I want you to understand this. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived, because God ain't pleased. Do not be deceived. Put on your infrared, baby, so that you can be able to see your enemy, because that enemy is closer than you think, and it's operating, and they're here already. Please. I'm telling you, God revealed to me, it's some people of God of ancient times here. It's just so heavy. I should probably do this for like a Patreon or a membership only live or something, so I could go a little bit deeper. I don't want to go too deep, but I want you to know this though. Get right with, if you don't know who God is, you begin to pray and ask him to reveal himself to you, and he'll reveal himself to you. If you don't understand how demons operate, demons are spiritual. So it's in the, I'm telling you, it's in the air. And I want you to know that demons, what the Lord revealed to me, demons are masked in a frequency. And he also revealed to me that angels are also in a frequency. The lower the frequency, the more exposure to the demons. The higher the frequency, the closer you are to like spiritual immunity. Now, I'll do a video on it sometime to break it down. But what I want you to know is that they're here already. And God wants you to cry out, to continue to pray, to continue to obey, to continue to serve, to continue to show the light of him radiating through you. Continue to pray for your nations, wherever you are. Continue to pray for the enemy, wherever you are, the enemy that's in people, because people, souls have been hijacked by deities, and they are just oblivious to it. I love you guys. Peace. And I still believe in you. Good night.